Good. I don't know why I like that. But good morning, everybody. It's Danny, 1-1 Coaching, coming to you live. Something we've been doing for the last couple weeks. Have a guest coming on today. Mark will be our guest. I'm sending him a message right now to let him know that we are on. Let's see here, Mark. Boom. Message sent out. Oh, look, there he is right there. Let's go ahead and invite him to our so we can get him in here. Yeah, so random topic every day. First thing that came to mind for myself today was high performance. Um, what up, what up, what up? How are you, man?
That's
Good
right.
to
You haven't
see
seen
you.
me. This is my quarantine beard.
No, man, yours is way nicer than mine. But mine didn't grow at all. How are things in the world,
Man,
man?
good. Going well. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I
Just
was thinking,
oh, go ahead.
what you were? Oh, I was just thinking about high performance today, and before we even got into that subject of high performance with you, Mark, I just want you to let people know a little bit about you, what you do, and where maybe even people can find you, so we can get it rolling.
Sweet. That sounds great, man. I'm gonna throw these headphones in to make it all a little
Perfect.
smoother.
Oh yeah, it definitely sounds crystal clear. I got my headphones in over here as well.
All right, awesome. Yeah, a little bit about me. I think, first and foremost, I'm a father of four. Actually, before that, I'm a husband. That's my number one.
Mm.
And if that relationship's falling apart, then everything else is too, typically. But yeah, and then I've got four kids. I have a massage therapy office. That's where I spend most of my time. And my wife, she does coaching, and I help out with that as well. But I don't do a lot of one-on-one coaching anymore myself. But yeah, I started playing ultimate frisbee. That's kind of something I'm spending a lot of time on right now. Yep, trying to find some quarantine
Yeah.
hobbies, and that's been a lot of fun. But yeah, I think that's me in a nutshell.
Man, that's perfect, right? High performance and ultimate frisbee, right? Like
That's right.
I used
That's
to
right.
play, and it's like the first few times you're out there, you're like, oh yeah, man, we have a few courses around here. I've got disc golf. I got it
Yes.
all, man. Yeah, it's a good time. I'm just not very good at it.
Yes. I'm not very good at it yet either. No, I'm working on it.
Oh, do you play regular golf?
I don't. I used to whenever I was a kid. My dad, I think he had the dreams of me becoming the next star. And so he would, I was out there at 10 years old golfing and stuff. But yeah, I don't play anymore at all. I'm probably horrible if I tried to play today. But it's a fun game.
Oh,
I wouldn't mind if I had some more time. I'd love to play it.
so what would you say is your thing? I mean, I know being a husband first and then a father, and that takes up quite a bit of time, and then to be a business owner on top of that. What are some of the other things that what do you say is your highest performance? Where do you show up the most at?
Oh gosh,
Is it
that's a
in the
good
marriage?
good question. I definitely put a lot of time and energy into my marriage. I put a lot of time and energy into my health and fitness. I think that's an area that I rate myself highly consistently.
Mm.
Um, so it's spending time in the gym, but it's not just the gym. It's also the food that I'm putting in my body. So I spend a decent amount in my kitchen cooking. A lot of people know there's prep involved if you're going to eat healthy. It's hard to just buy it, already good to go.
Yeah.
And then also just spending time trying to move my body. So I don't think you have to always be doing these high intensity workouts, even though I do quite a few of them. I think, taking hikes, taking walks, just finding time throughout the day to really move, stretch. I've tried to get into yoga a little bit. I think that's a really good modality of exercise. So for me, that's definitely an area where I kick ass on a regular basis.
Oh man, there's one little thing in there that I would love to ask you about, and that's that food
Yeah.
prep so that I can eat healthy. Like me and the wife, we food prep, we do that, and it's still a little hard. Do you prep out the
Oh,
whole
it is.
week? Do you do like 3 days? Like, how do you, like, what's
Yeah,
your
that's a
methodology?
great question. I think whenever I first started, I would, on Saturday or Sunday try to cook like these big bulk meals that would help me throughout the week. I don't really do that as much anymore. Now what I'll do is whenever I'm cooking a dinner meal, so let's say it's going to be like maybe grilled chicken, it's going to be sweet potatoes and broccoli, like sautéed broccoli. So what I'll do is I'll just cook a bunch of it all at once. And so that way I've got leftovers to eat on throughout the week. And so after I cook, three of these big ass meals, then now I've at least got one more meal for myself in there, built in. And there's going to be some leftover for my wife and kids as well, because that's kind of how we'll do it. We'll cook these big dinners and then we'll, eat on those as our lunches to make sure we're still getting some vegetables in throughout on the other days, throughout the rest of it.
Man, that reminds me of actually how my parents used to do it, and I didn't realize it in the moment. Like,
Ah,
we were meal prepping without meal. Like, my mom would make these dinners that, like, there's no way four of us could eat. And then the
right,
next day or
exactly.
two, we would be eating leftovers, and we just called them leftovers. But, like, I
Yeah,
like the way that you're saying to do that. Like, cook your healthy meal, get everything that you need, but make sure you have a little extra for the next day. And that keeps it
yeah.
fresh, right? I mean, I would assume keeps
It
it super
does.
fresh.
Oh, it does. Yeah, it's no problem. And a lot of times, it's easy to throw something in the microwave and heat it up, but a lot of times I'll throw it into a skillet and just warm it up that way, and it's like it was just freshly made. Like when you heat something up on the
Uh,
stove, it gives it that fresh quality. Takes a couple more
yeah,
minutes,
like
but it's worth it. It's worth it.
steaks.
Whenever you're
That's
trying
like
to eat
we
healthy, you need to do anything you can to make it taste, a little bit better. So I'll take that 5 extra minutes to heat it up.
man, I'm glad you threw that out there because like me, I'm like so we'll cook some like carrots or something like that, and then I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
I'm not gonna warm those up in the microwave, but just to throw it on the skillet seems, maybe put a little water in there, revitalize it a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
Oh man, I love that. I love that. So how old are your kids? What your youngest kids? Because I got the twins
Uh,
that are almost 2 years old.
yeah. Yeah. So I've got 11, 7, 5, and 2. Those are my ages. So 5 and
Oh,
2 are or sorry. Yeah. 5 and 2 are my youngest. Yeah.
so what is the dietary whatever between the 2 year old and say the 5 year old? Like
Yeah.
because
So
that's what
we
we're struggling right.
and that's a common struggle, right? I have a lot of friends with kids, and it's hard to get kids to eat stuff because they don't want they're picky. Kids want to do what they want to do, but we try really hard from the get go. As soon as our kids start eating solid foods, to feed them what we're eating, because we know at the end of the day,
Mm,
and you know this, I'm sure, it's really hard to make yourself a healthy meal and then simultaneously cook your kids something totally different, like that's not as healthy. And it's more work, and you're like, their food looks better than mine, and you want to try to do that stuff. So, so yeah, we really just try to get them to eat our food from the get
yeah,
go, and whenever they're really little, we find that they don't care as much, and they'll be like, broccoli tastes delicious. It's not until they get a little older. But yeah, like the 2 year old, she's at an age where she, will say, I don't want that. And
yeah.
what we'll do is, we'll try the heavy handed approach. You got to eat it, too bad. And that works sometimes, most of the time, but sometimes it doesn't, or we don't have the energy, to try to argue with a 2 year old. And so we'll say, okay, take a bite of this, and then you'll get some of this, and we'll do the bribe
Mm,
technique, and it works pretty good. So it'll be
mhm.
like, okay, take a bite of your broccoli, and then you can have a bite of your sweet potatoes, or it'll be
Yeah,
eat everything that's on your plate, and then you get to have these blueberries at the end, that kind of thing. And that seems to
gotcha.
work out pretty well. Like they can really associate it, at least for us. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's wonderful because like we're at the stage right now where like we're introducing plates. but the plates are essentially
Yeah.
just so that they could dump the food off and throw it on the floor. And so like
Seriously. Yeah.
so so like we have been like really like not worried, but asking our friends kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, so we know we're hitting that next stage. I think there's an airplane. Our kids are hitting that next stage from
Yeah.
like my daughter. She loves broccoli and she loves
Yeah.
steak. So like she'll
Yes.
eat broccoli and
Solid.
steak all day. Yeah, right.
Yes.
My son, on the other hand, is like, let me get bread and fruit.
Yeah,
Like almost all
right.
he'll eat.
Exactly. Yes.
And so
Yeah.
like we're rolling into that part where we used to do the whole it's me, like we're gonna eat like not separately, but here's your food because I know you're
Yeah.
hungry. It takes a little longer. We're gonna cook ours, and now we're at the point it's like
Yeah.
there's no point in doing that because unless we're sitting down to eat, they're not sitting down to eat. Like there's like,
Right.
oh yeah, here's some food, but who cares about it? You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man,
Right. Yes. And that's the
hey,
thing
I
is
know we're
really it's oh, sorry. Yeah, I was
go
just
ahead.
gonna
No,
say,
go ahead. Go
we got
ahead.
to think about it. Yeah, we got to think about it long term, because it's easy in the moment to be like, "Oh, just eat the bananas. I don't give a damn." And here's some bread, But like 5 years from now, I know those kids that still have trouble eating, and they're like 7, 8 years old, and now they only want to eat pizza, and it's like they don't get weaker; they get stronger, And it's harder to fight
Oh,
against an older kid.
yeah, yeah. I see what you, oh man, I'm glad. I'm so happy you just told me that because like there's certain things that I'm like, oh yeah, when they get a little older, it'll be a little easier. But I'm realizing that there's a lot of things that they're doing right now that if they
Yeah,
keep doing it, I have a
right.
feeling that like they'll be like, no, this is part of who I am now. It's cool for me to do
Exactly.
it, and then I
Exactly.
don't want to
Yeah.
be that my kid's 12 and I'm trying to like, hey, you shouldn't be
Yeah.
hitting people, you shouldn't be biting.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what I have some kids in my life that are like that. Not my kids, but I know kids like that, and I understand how it happens because it is hard parenting and it takes a lot of time and energy. But I'm telling you, it's better to put it in now because the payoff in the long run is so rewarding. I'm fortunate that I have a kid that is 11, so I get to see what worked and what didn't work for my younger kids and yeah, getting some of those like stuff out of the way, like sleep routines and eating your food, these things that you have to do every day. You want to get those on lock so that way whenever your kid is 10 years old, they're cruising and you can worry about
Mm.
things like morals and just general stuff like that.
So right now, building that
Yeah.
base so that you can, I got you, man. Well, thank you, Mark, for coming on. We actually did talk about high performance eating and being with your kids. And as we all know, that is a high octane kind of deal. Is there any last words you'd like to
Yes.
leave them with?
Oh man. Yeah, just get out there and find something that you're passionate about. I really believe that you can find enjoyment in any type of work that you're doing. You just got to put a good meaning behind it. So ask yourself, what else could this mean, and find a really good meaning. Like if it's doing something at work and you just don't like that project, just think about how it could impact a friend of yours or your family, or even your own personal growth, and that'll help get you through it.
Mm, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Mark. Everybody out there, be more you, and we will see y'all tomorrow.
See you, man.
Take it easy.